Welcome to Romania.
This is a country that's been described to me as a land of beauty and mystery.
Up until now, it's not been that high on many people's travel bucket list. But that could be about to change.
Look, look the bear.
Wow.
There's the bear.
In the spring of 2024, the Eastern European nation joined the Schengen Area, a group of 29 countries across the continent that allow passport-free travel over their internal borders, meaning that tourism here should be in line for a big boost. It's been over 3 decades since the nation turned its back on communism. And now it's ready to show the world its diverse culture.
Tourism, it's one way, or maybe the single way that some villages can survive and develop.
And dramatic landscapes.
You don't want to eat a lot before you go to Transfagarasan.
Must be something special that an accident happened with the bear. Because we cannot live alone. We have to share.
But what I want to know is this hidden gem ready for the spotlight?
I'm in Bucharest, the capital city of Romania. It's my first time in Romania, so I am very excited. I feel like already there is a lot to see here. Every building here is wildly different. You find yourself thinking, I wonder who lived here, or what happened there? I've been told that this is the heaviest building in the world, the communist era's Palace of Parliament. It has more than 1,000 rooms and incorporates over 1 million cubic meters of marble in its design, but also carries a weighty historical legacy. The building was the brainchild of the country's brutal former dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu. In the early 1980s, he ordered a fifth of the city to be razed to the ground, displacing thousands of families, all to make room for this supersized shrine to his regime. The scale of this, I mean, it's just huge. Bogdan Mirica is a Bucharest-based journalist and grew up during the communist era. What was public reaction? Were they like, wow, look what we've managed to build? Or was that kind of like the start of people turning against this regime?
It was one drop. You didn't have any information media back then. All the newspapers were controlled by the state, you know? And you didn't know what happened here. Maybe if you have a relative, they told you, yeah, they moved us to build this.
I think because like I haven't grown up in any environment that's been similar to that, you kind of forget like, yeah, he controlled everything.
Exactly.
So there's not going to be this bad story that comes out of someone who lived there getting interviewed and saying, I've lost my house, my life is gone, I'm incredibly sad. It's just going to be glorious building gets built, look how great Romania is. Ceausescu's rule came to an end on Christmas Day in 1989. The country revolted, and he and his wife, Elena, faced a firing squad. More than 1,000 Romanians died in the uprising, but the country has since embraced democracy and joined the European Union. However, signs of Ceausescu's legacy are still never too hard to find here. This is the Transfagarasan Highway. Crossing the vast Carpathian Mountains, which run from the north to the south of the country, forming a strategically important natural barrier. To me, this feels more like a roller coaster than a road. It reaches a peak of 2,000 metres and stretches out over 90 kilometres. And during the summer months, comes an unlikely tourist attraction for petrol heads like Bogdan, looking to test out their driving skills in a stunning setting.
This was Ceausescu's master plan?
Yes, he made it because he was, let's say, scared by the Russian invasion in Czechoslovakia in 1968.
How was this even built?
Difficult. He asked two armies, one from the north and one from the south, to start bombing their way up to the top of the mountain.
Bombing?
Yeah, bombing. Yeah, and they used like 6,500 kilograms of dynamite, and they start creating the path.
Ceausescu's original plan was to move troops across the Carpathians via the highway in the event of an attack. But what he didn't factor in was the weather. For over half the year, this road is completely inaccessible because of Romania's snowy winters. No wonder it got the nickname of Ceausescu's Folly.
You can feel the adrenaline of the car.
Yes! Oh! Bogdan, these roads. There are so many twists and turns. How do you even have control?
You don't want to eat a lot before you go to Transfagarasan.
There's challenges for the driver around every bend, but some of those challenges are a little hairier than others.
Oh,
I
this
think.
could be a bear.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Look.
Oh,
Look the bear.
Wow!
You see? Hello, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, dude. Oh, that was wild.
Yeah.
First bear in the wild.
In the wild. We have a large population of bears, and people tend to get close to them and give them treats, which is
like tourists.
Yeah.
Which is
so,
is that encouraged or not? I'm assuming it's not encouraged.
no,
To
sure.
feed them. It's a good start.
Continuing my journey north, I'm heading to Transylvania, famed for being the main setting of the novel Dracula. The story was inspired by the region's rich folklore and historical figures like the infamous Vlad the Impaler. But the tale's author Bram Stoker never stepped foot in the country. But that doesn't stop the gothic-looking Bran Castle grabbing tourists' imaginations.
Baby Dracula tea and the mugs. That's pretty cool. I feel like you could have a whole house made up of Dracula themed items if you wanted to. More Dracula. Oh, the actual Dracula. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Dracula. Are you a fan of Dracula?
Yeah, of course.
You like?
I'm from Romania, of course I'm fan of Dracula.
In 2023, over 1 million people visited Bran Castle. It's a major part of tourism here in Romania, for sure. Use it as your starting point, but Transylvania is huge and there is loads to see here.
The history of Transylvania has more plot twists than any novel. The landscape may look idyllic, but dotted across the countryside is a whole host of fortifications, used in bygone days to defend the region from marauding raiders like the Mongols and the Ottoman Empire. With limited public money to protect historical sites in Romania, groups like Ambulance for Monuments have stepped in to try and save buildings like this from decay. I'm joining volunteer Diana Opria to see how it's done.
So we're on the trail right now.
Yes, the Via Transylvanica trail. We're along the way. This is a beautiful way to experience Romania with all its landscapes. This is a typical Transylvanian landscape.
Yeah.
We have many fortificated churches like this one that we see here, the Church of Roades. Roades is a really old settlement which dates back to the early 14th century actually.
You mentioned fortified church.
Yes.
I don't think I imagined there being fortified and church in the same sentence.
sentence.
Yeah.
The church in Radish has been standing for over 700 years, but in the winter of 2016, the bell tower was damaged and came tumbling down. The volunteers from Ambulance for Monuments are made up of craftsmen, local people and students keen to preserve Romania's heritage.
A lot of people like yourself study architecture, then come here to help out.
Yeah.
Did Ciprian teach you
Yes,
some of your
yes,
tricks?
and I'm really happy to learn.
And what does he think of your skills?
We're a great team.
Great team.
If you have a crack, you don't only clean this around it. You also go 50 centimeters in that side and 50 centimeters in that side.
This one,
Like work with hands is nowadays so therapeutic and so good.
So if I'm tired after 5 minutes,
Are you tired?
okay. Let's get him to work. You just have a- yeah. I see what you're doing here.
So many decorative elements. Like when you enter, you don't know where to look first. That's the feeling and
Even
the smells and all
that smell.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You know, it feels like a lot of people, especially maybe younger people, leave Romania for different opportunities elsewhere. But you've decided to stay. Why is that?
I think it's important for us to stay, maybe for some of us to stay at least. Young people should stay like I did and like my friends from the ambulance did, because of all of the work that, that needs to be done to save what we have.
They enjoy themselves, they play.
Who's the biggest bear in the sanctuary?
I think he is.
It's feeding time at the Liberty Sanctuary.
But sometimes I don't know where to find all this food. Sometimes in the evening I pray, what shall I give tomorrow? Because you see, if they have food, if they have enough space, they don't argue, they don't kill each other, because people ask me, how can they be together?
And so relaxed.
So
which is-
relaxed.
yeah, especially around food. You'd imagine they're always going to be arguing over food.
During the past 20 years, Christina Lapish and her team have given a home to over 130 bears here in Transylvania. Romania has Europe's largest population of brown bears outside of Russia, with numbers estimated to be around 8,000.
We try to build something not like a park or a big zoo. We try to live the nature like in the natural environment. Here is for them 5-star, all inclusive.
But it wasn't that long ago, it was commonplace to see a bear kept in a cage outside businesses here to attract customers.
Imagine in winter or in summer with the heat, the bear has still traces on her paw. And even with the shoes, it's difficult to stay on this.
Christina decided to dedicate her life to bears after meeting Maya, who was being kept in a small, damp metal cage. For 4 years, she constantly visited the brown bear, caring for her the best she could. Sadly, Maya didn't survive her ordeal, and in 2002, she passed away. Just 3 years before the laws that could have allowed Christina to free her came into play.
Maya died in my arms. She refused to leave. I promised to Maya that no other bear will live in this condition, and I hope that now when she looks to me from the constellation of bears, she saw that I respected my promise.
In summer 2024, Romania's government more than doubled the annual number of legal bear kills after a fatal attack on a teenage hiker on a popular tourist trail. With more tourists expected to arrive since joining the Schengen area, I wanted to know if Christina thought dangerous encounters between humans and bears were going to increase.
When you do hear those incidents that people get attacked that aren't feeding a bear and not taking pictures, they're just going for a hike. What's your thoughts on those incidents?
I know hundreds, thousands of cases that people who are used to the forest saw a bear and nothing happened. So must be something special that an accident happens with a bear. When you go in the forest, you assume that it could be an accident, not only with the bear, with a wolf, with another animal, with a wild pig. But important is to make noise, because if you make noise, the animal knows that you are coming and goes away, because we cannot live alone. We have to share.
When I heard I was coming to Romania, I imagined I'd see a country still emerging from the effects of communism and struggle. What I didn't expect to see was this.
The heart of nature, the Danube Delta. This is kind of magical.
You find castles, you find mountains, you have villages all over Europe, beautiful rivers and everything. But this kind of amazing wonder, you cannot find somewhere else in Europe.
I'm travelling deep into the Delta with Reece Parkinson, who calls this part of Romania home. Situated on the borders with Ukraine, this is where the mighty Danube River meets the Black Sea after crossing 10 countries. This 580,000 hectare delta is Europe's largest wetland and is still relatively undestroyed and is home to a huge number of birds, mammals and fish.
It's so hard to find this peace in other places. And it just goes, oh,
That is a cormorant. He's one of the best swimmers from the delta. He can swim up to 2 minutes underwater and catching fish like a raptor. Different experience, right?
The region is sparsely populated with a few small communities living alongside nature, mainly relying on fishing and in recent years, tourism.
It's standard.
Thunderfish. Yeah. I've never held a fish before.
Marius and his wife Claudia Portalia turned their backs on a busy life in Bucharest to set up a guest house called the Travelling Couple in the village of Juralovka.
Hi there. Hi there. And because we have this amazing view, all the rooms they are equipped with a binocular.
A little bit of bird watching.
Yeah.
So what kind of birds do you see from here?
You can see cormorants, you can see pelicans, storks, swans. We're quite surrounded by wildlife and birds in these waters.
This is full on nature.
Yeah. So this house is like 100 years old already, and you see all the drawings like made by local people.
Claudia grew up in Juralovka and is part of the Lipovan community. The Lipovans are ethnic Russians who fled to Romania in the 18th century to escape religious persecution. Since then, they've maintained their cultural identity, customs, and beliefs.
This is our local church. I was baptized here. That was the place where my grandmother used to sit. So lots of memories came to me.
Yeah, it means a lot to you.
Yeah. It's a place with a lot of emotional experience for me.
Your outfit, is this something that you and your mum and grandma, you'd all wear similar traditional outfits to church?
So this is the traditional outfit for the church. long skirt, long shirt, the head has to be covered. As you can see, the colors are the ones from the village that you could see.
I thought so. It's a lot
Yeah,
of blue.
it's a lot of blue here in the church, on the street, the houses. So we are all surrounded by blue waters.
This is platica. It's having many bones, but it's very sweet. So I don't want you to, less bones for you for the moment,
okay.
until you pass the first test.
Do you feel like you took a risk on this?
We made the building, the guest house, during the pandemic time. It was risky because no one was traveling anymore.
Great
and
time
we were
to
building
start
something in the tourist.
a guest house business, yeah.
Yeah, then the war came, and again it was uncertain. What's going on? What is going to happen?
How about the locals though? You hear sometimes when there are a lot of tourists, some locals will be like, we don't want you, go back. Have you spoke to many people in the area?
It was a positive reaction because the village is growing like this. There are many people that are coming from abroad. They used to work in Italy, in Spain, because they didn't have any working opportunities here. And now they have. They are coming back.
Tourism, it's one way, or maybe the single way that some villages can survive and develop.
The lady next to her. Yeah.
Mi-a zis Daniela acum la ureche, o să știi că ăla, cămașa albă e al meu.
Vals.
When you travel, you often get the sense that everyone's doing the same thing, sharing the same experiences. In Romania, it feels different. It's like we've come here at the start of a new chapter. Yes, it's had a complex and difficult history, but it's emerged out of that and it's now ready to show the world everything that makes it so unique.